Hey, it's your girl Angie Fabulosity. I stopped through to give you the celebrity gossip. Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about Diddy's sentencing. So before we get into his sentence and all of that, let's just start from the beginning. Okay, so Diddy went to court. His hearing was Friday, October 3rd. So that was last week. And before the hearing, the probational department, they're supposed to be very, how should I say, they are non-biased. They're not biased, okay? And they said that the prosecutors were planning on telling the judge that they want 11 years for Diddy. Now, everybody was surprised because at first they said they wanted between 5 to 7 years. And now they said 11 years. So everybody was like in an uproar, okay? Because people was feeling like Diddy's going to walk and all of the things. And then they started thinking Diddy's going to get some time. Now, if you saw my video last week, I did say that. I said, you know what? I think Diddy is going to walk. That's exactly what I said. I said, I think Diddy is going to walk. But a lot of people kept saying, no, Diddy is going to get time. And some people just feel like, you know what? Diddy deserves even more time than that. So nobody really knew what Diddy was going to get because only the judge has an authority to sentence Diddy. So they went to court and a lot of things happened in court. First of all, before they went to court, letters were written. Cassie Ventura's wrote a letter saying, you know what, I think he should be in jail. I'm afraid for my life and my family's life and all of the things. And she's been writing letters. Now, I can understand why she could be afraid because this man paid her $30 million. She signed NDAs, and this woman had opened her mouth and sang like a bird. So why should he have paid her the $30 million? Now, even though a lot of people say, well, she deserves the $30 million anyway, he beat her behind, he made her do all peed in men's mouth and all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, he gave that money to shut her up. Now, I guess FBI can make you talk regardless of what you signed, regardless if you had, something in place where she got paid. So she talked anyway. So I can understand her feeling that way. But like I've been saying, this is a powerful man. Diddy's a powerful man. He know powerful people. If he wanted her gone or wanted her family was gone, he could do that from behind jails. But really, what sense would that make? What sense would that make when everybody has eyes are all on Diddy? If something happened to Cassie Ventura and any of her family tomorrow, that man will be back on trial, honey. That man will stay in jail for the rest of his life. So I don't think that anything will happen to her at this point. Now, I don't know, many years down the line, I can't guarantee you that because people will wait on you. People that has a vendetta against you, some of them will wait, baby. They will wait very patiently to get you. But right now, I think she's okay. Then they said Miss Young Miami, the rapper, she wrote a long letter saying Diddy didn't do me like he did these other women. He was very important in my life. He set up and showed me the business. I learned from him. I had growth from him. He treated me like a queen. He took my career to the next level. He was a mentor to me. I mean, she was like acting like this man was so great to her. And maybe he was. From what I understand, he didn't do her like that. So, I believe that his kids wrote letters. And I believe that Jane Doe wrote a letter because She was afraid of her life because he had beat her down, and here she was testifying against him. So all of this was given to the judge. And then when they got to court, the judge allowed Diddy's team to really speak on behalf of Diddy. So Diddy's children came up and spoke. Christian Combs, the one that looks like him, came and spoke and said how his father has been a role model, that they have a young sibling and she needs her father. She asks every day, where's Dada? And how he looks up to his father regardless of what's going on. He looks up to his father. He loves his father. And he and his sisters, twin sisters, they need him because they no longer have a mother. And if you take my father away, then I don't know what we will do because we don't have any parents. So then the twin sisters came up and they spoke, and they said the courtroom was, everybody was in tears. Everybody was in tears. But I'm like, even though it's sad because his children love their parents. Okay, and no matter we think of Diddy as a monster, his children don't think of him as a monster, and of course they're gonna want their dad back. And Christian even went as far as to say, my father has taught me how to treat women like a queen. When this man is going to be on trial for SAing somebody, so. Yeah, they was laying it on real thick. And that's what they supposed to do because that's their father. And they don't want their father locked up. So I do understand that. And then he had one of his lawyers get on stand. She was a woman. And she got on stand and she was like, this Mr. Combs is a good man. He has been great in the community. He has given to schools. He has helped black people. He is this and he is that, and he's a good man. He a good man. And they say she started crying, and he don't belong in jail. He don't need to be in jail. He's a good man, and he is a human being. Honey, everybody that said she was acting like she was at a funeral, baby. At a funeral talking about her client, Mr. Combs. But let me tell you something. That man paid his lawyers, each of them, $10 million. And he probably said, listen, I done paid y'all $10 million. Bitch, you better get on that stage and act a fool. And she did just what he told her to do. And you know what? If somebody gave me $10 million, baby, I'd be doing the same thing, honey. So I'm not mad at the lawyer. She just trying to do what she was paid to do. And let's get this man off. Okay? So the crazy thing that Diddy did, he set up interviews and all of the things for the next day, October 4th, Saturday, October 4th, after his sentencing in Miami. Now, he could have set it up to talk to kids and men and women about doing the right thing and you don't want to go to jail. I don't know. We don't really know what he was planning on doing. But was that stupid or what? I don't understand why his lawyers didn't say, Mr. Combs, don't do that. Don't set up no interviews. Wait until after the trial. But for him to be so smart and this mogul that he is, girl, why did you do something like that? That is crazy. The judge was going to feel a certain way. Honey, if he had a brain, he'd be dangerous. So, the judge was feeling a way because that's just like saying, oh, I know I'm going to get off. Oh, I know time is served for me. And it was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It didn't make any sense. I don't know why he did that, but he did. And so, after all of that, Diddy took the stand. Okay, and I want to read exactly what Diddy said, honey. Diddy takes the stand. Okay. And Diddy said, I don't have nobody to blame but myself. Combs tells judge. He took a moment to thank his children who spoke on his behalf in today's proceedings. I would never, ever jeopardize being in this situation again. Being away from my family that needs me. Being away from my family that needs me. That's my deterrence, he said. I ask, Your Honor, for the chance to be a father again. I ask, Your Honor, for a chance to be a son again. I ask, Your Honor, for the chance to be a leader in my community again. I ask, Your Honor, for a chance to get the help that I desperately need to become a better person, because I don't want to let God down. I don't want to let my family down, he said. Combs went on to say that he's learned his lesson and he will fully comply with whatever conditions the court imposes. I don't have nobody to blame but myself. I know I never put my hands on another person again. I know that I've learned my lesson. I'm willing to comply with any conditions the court puts upon me, giving a chance when we talk about the possibility of me sharing my story. It's not just a scheme to try to get less time. It's that this story is real. This story is tragic, he said. Combs went to say that he's learned his lesson and will fully comply with whatever conditions the court imposes. He then addresses his mother in court and says, you taught me better. You raised me better. I know to whom so much is given, so much is expected. I failed my community. He said, growing up as a kid, I just wanted to be a shining example of what we can do, Combs said. I say, as people of color, that we can own our own business, take care of our own communities, raise our own children, solve our own problems, create our own wealth, take care of our own problems. That was my mission, but I got lost. I'm not this bad person. I'm sorry to my community for letting y'all down. So at the end of the day, the judge questioned Diddy's claims of remorse. He does not believe that Combs is remorseful. And he says that because in June 2024, after authorities executed the search warrants, the international hotel video was released and Combs gave a similar apology on Instagram. He brutally then assaulted Jane Doe. And so if he was so sorry, he wouldn't continue to terrorize and abuse women. So I feel like this, and they said that Diddy really seemed very sorry when he gave his speech on the stand. And they said that after all of that, he then stands up and he tells Cassie that he's sorry. And he tells Jane Doe that he was sorry for putting her in his mess. And I think he's I think that Diddy has learned something by being in jail. I do believe that. He's been in jail for a minute, and he's in one of the worst prisons that you can be in. And so if you don't learn from that, you're not going to never learn, okay? So I think he's learned something. Now, do I think he's a changed person? I can't say he's a changed person, because at the end of the day, he has to get mental help. And I say that because for him to do all those nasty, low-down things, he had to been crazy, okay? For him to just act the way he acted, just brutally beating women and Cassie and his ex-women and baby mamas, is crazy. Now, it was said that while he was, during this whole court time, that he did mention that he was bipolar. And bipolar, you have a problem maintaining and holding back your anger. And that's probably why he got into all of these rages of kicking people. You can't stop your rage. And so, yeah, it was said that he was bipolar. And then you add that with the drugs, then you're going to have this monster. Then a monster's been created. So, for me, he would definitely have to get mental health care. It should have been said before he goes back into the world. Because if he doesn't get that mental health treatment, then I can't say that he's changed. I think he's learned lessons. Supposedly, while he was in jail, he did go through rehab, so he is sober now. And a lot of times when you have like that, you don't remember what the hell happened. He had his videos to look at it, but you don't know if he didn't have that video, the videos that he created. Will he really have remembered everything that happened and he's that high? I don't think so. And so I think by being sober and the things that he's going through and gone through, I think he definitely knows that what he did was wrong and what he did was crazy. And so after all of that, the judge told him, you're going to get some time because what you did was wrong. You committed crimes. And I'm going to sentence you for crimes. So, the judge sentenced, okay, so Diddy's legal team, wanted 14-month sentence, while the prosecutors wanted him to serve 11 years behind bars. He was ultimately given 50 months. Diddy also required to pay a $500,000 fine, part of which will defray costs of imprisonment. The judge did not impose restitution. After announcing the sentence, the judge had some words for the strong women who testified about their horrific stories. The judge said, to Mrs. Ventura and the other brave survivors that came forward, I want to say, first, we heard you. So, Diddy's lawyers are going to appeal the sentence. I personally think they need to stop while they're ahead, and he needs to go ahead on, man up, and serve the rest of your time. Now, they did say, and I want to bring this to the attention. I'm going to read this. Sean Diddy's legal team wants him to serve his sentence at a low security prison in New Jersey. It's called FCI Fort Dix. It has a large inmate population and very understaffed, a prison consultant said. The prison is where Combs wants to go, is where Martin Shuros served part of his sentence. And not only that, it's located more than 70 miles from New York City, where Combs is currently behind bars. It has what's known as a residential drug abuse program that Combs' lawyers suggested will be beneficial to the recovering addict. In order to address abuse issues and to maximize family visitations and rehabilitation efforts, they request the court strongly recommend to the Bureau of Prison that Combs be placed at FCI Fort Dix for RDAP purposes and any other available educational occupational programs. And the RDAP is an intense 9-month drug and alcohol program. Successfully completing an additional prison programs would shave a year or more off from Combs. So by him being transferred and getting into this program, if they gave him 50 months and he's already, I believe, started a year and 4 months, and then they'll shave off more time, he probably would do between a year and a half and 2 years in prison. And some of that time would probably be in a halfway home. So I think they're probably going to do that. They're going to move him there because he definitely needs to get into a program to help his addiction and to help his mental health. Now, so to appeal it, he will have to get a different lawyer. I just would just leave it alone and do what they need to do. But he has the money and he has nothing to lose. So it is what it is. Now, a lot of people felt a certain way about Diddy and his sentencing. And so we're going to get into that. Now, what I personally feel like Diddy I feel like Diddy sentencing was fair. That's what I feel. I feel like his sentencing was fair because, as the judge said, and the judge didn't over-sentence him. Let's put that out there. I don't think he over-sentenced him. He didn't give him 11 years, which he shouldn't have got. He didn't give him 8 years. He didn't give him 7 years. He didn't do none of that. And like I said, with all the things, if he goes into this rehab at this prison, he probably will do a year and a half to 2 years. And part of that time would probably be in a halfway house. So I don't think he over did the sentence, okay? But it's some people that feel like he should have walked. That he should have walked. Time served. And I did feel like he should have done time served, but I felt like at the same time, this man has done crimes with people, ruined people's lives, you know. So, yeah, I think that's fair. And then some people feel like he should have got more than that. He should have got the 11 years. Now, I was listening to Judge Mathis, and he said he felt like the judge did not over-sentence him, but he would have sentenced him to 2 years instead of the, 50 months. And he said that because the mandate law is consecutive. He got charged twice for that, and usually when you get charged twice for that, then you don't even count the second one. And he felt like 2 years to him would have been good and fair because, number one, he don't have any type of, he's never had a record before. He's never been in trouble before by the law. And he has served time in prison. And a lot of people don't get a lot of years for the mandate law. So he felt like the judge could have definitely gave him 2 years, or he would have done it if it was him. But he did not feel like he was being over, that his sentence was too much. Also, I listened to Jaguar Wright, and she was on, I think it's called Streets Production. And she felt okay. She was like, justice still has been served, even though he only got what he got, 50 months. It's been served. He's going to jail. He did not just get off. They did not say time served. I told the truth. So I feel like I've been, people was acting like I was lying. I've been vindicated because I told the truth. He did go to jail. Nobody even expected this to ever happen in life, and it's happened. So with that being said, she said, I'm all right with this. I'm all right with this. Justice has been served. Diddy is behind jail. She said, but I think Mary J. Blige should have been in jail, and Jay-Z should have been in jail. And Stevie J should have been in jail. They should have been in jail. But it didn't happen that way. So she said they got him, and she's good with that. Now, what Gene Deal and Jaguar Wright gonna do now? They made all the money off of Diddy. The story has ended. Diddy is going to jail, okay? And until another 2 years, I guess we'll pick it back up with Diddy. But a lot of people made a lot of money off Diddy and his trial. And I think that he, as I said again, I think that 50 months was good for him. And so I want you to tell me in the comments, what do you think? Do you think that he got enough time? Do you think that he should have been let go for time served? Let me know in the comments. And that's all I have. That's all I got. And I'll see you in the next video.